Now, to continue our weekly conversation about the best strategies for saving and investing for retirement, Senior Wealth Advisor Darren Farwell of the Farwell Group joins us. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn. Well, this morning I'm going to make a little bit of a twist. I'm going to talk about two things husbands can do to help ensure their wives protect their lifestyle through retirement in the case the husband isn't there the whole time. The two things are, number one, to help establish a relationship with a financial advisor that can help if he's not there. And number two, possibly a spousal trust. Now, week after week, Leslie and I speak a lot to the widows listening in from a woman's perspective on Saturdays. And this morning, I'm hoping I can grab the attention of the husbands or partners as well. Here's the line of thinking around the need to consider the long-term management of your family investment assets using, number one, a financial advisor you and your wife can work with, and possibly, number two, using a spousal trust. Look, we've heard it over and over in the media, and in fact, we can see it in real life amongst our family and friends that women in general live longer than men. Now, I will avoid with careful intent the quicksand discussion of potentially why. It's not my area. I'm just going to stick with the financial. Add to the fact that women in general will outlive men, the fact that women are far more prone to Alzheimer's than men. At age 65, women have a 1 in 5 chance of developing Alzheimer's compared to 1 in 11 for men. On top of this health issue is the reality that many widows face the challenge of a lack of confidence when it comes to managing investments. So what can husbands and their wives, married and common law partners do now to proactively protect against the strong possibility that for reasons of health or confidence, the surviving spouse may not be in a position to effectively manage the family investments. And this could have dire consequences for the long-term quality of life for the surviving spouse and or for the legacy available for those beneficiaries, that are important, be they children or causes you believe in. One proactive idea is that women, of course, can and should work on increasing their confidence in managing investments now. Most of them, we know, will be responsible for managing those investments at some point. Why not get started now? But as additional strategies, husbands can do something else. They can work with their spouse to set up a spousal trust. A spousal trust can provide built-in, trustworthy professional management of the investments. And this is particularly important if the surviving spouse does not have the confidence or desire to manage investments themselves. Of course, it also provides professional management from a trust company in the case that for health reasons the surviving spouse isn't capable. For example, in the case of Alzheimer's. There are other reasons a spousal trust can make sense in long-term planning, creditor protection, tax advantage around probate, control over business assets. But for today, my focus is on what Bill did. Bill runs a moderate-sized manufacturing company. He is 74 years old. His wife is an author and a successful one at that. But she's never wanted to have anything to do with investment management, even though they do rely on the income from those investments to live on. Bill had a bit of a health scare in 2020. He had a mild heart attack, fortunately from which he recovered well. However, it did cause him to think seriously about how his wife, Anne, would have managed their portfolio if he had died. Bill has always managed the portfolio by himself and without a financial advisor. Who would Anne even have started speaking to about it? So Bill came to me for two reasons. One, so Anne could start to get to know someone who could help, start a relationship with her, a trusted guide. So if something were happen to Bill, at least she would know and feel confident in picking up the phone and calling somebody. And number two, to discuss with Anne how things would happen around investment management. And Anne made it clear that she probably could, but preferred not to become responsible for the investment management. Therefore, we began discussing the alternative of a spousal trust. In my experience, many husbands are concerned about the financial well-being of their wives in the case that the husband dies first, which is a strong probability. There are two ways that a husband and wife can proactively do something today to be prepared. Number one, establish a financial advisor relationship with someone or some team that they both feel comfortable speaking to. And number two, consider using a spousal trust for ongoing professional investment management if the spouse who leads the investment decisions in the couple were to pass away first.
Well, that's sage advice. Relationships are built on trust and on working together, and establishing a relationship so both of you understand how the finances work and you get along with all the players makes sense. It's a good game plan, so I like that. And the spousal trust also makes sense. So if someone wants to talk to you and learn more about the spousal trust, I guess would be the basic part of it, how do we reach you?
Feel free to call 416-863-7501. We're happy to take your call and send along some information about how spousal trusts can work.
416-863-7501. You can build relationships now. You can strengthen your knowledge so that the partnership you have, not just dealing with day-to-day living, but with your finances and your retirement, can give you peace of mind. Darren Farwell and the Farwell Group have great ideas, and they're willing to walk you through it. You take the first chance, and then you have a second chance to rebuild where you've been. A second opinion would be valuable, and considering a spousal trust might be priceless to you. 416-863-7501. Thank you, Darren. I look forward to learning more next week. I think Leslie's on, so we'll be able to explore this further.
You're welcome, Marilyn. It's always a pleasure.
Talk to you in a couple of weeks.